At what point in the wedding did you think the bride and groom would not be husband and wife for long? I was a +1 at a wedding last year. By the evening, bride was so drunk and she asked me to help her pee in her dress. I didn't know her, but being a gal's gal, I assisted. I made small talk while she peed and asked if she was having fun, etc. She went into a weird trance and said, "When I walked down the aisle, I was really disappointed that the groomsman I shagged a month ago didn't turn up." I don't think she realized she said it out loud. Anyway, the marriage lasted 9 months. Had a neighbor who got arrested the night before his wedding in a bar fight. Then the night of the wedding, walking back to the hotel with his new wife, decided he really needed pizza. So he tried to walk into a local pizza place. It was closed, so he kicked in the door and kept walking. Got arrested 2 blocks down the street. So she spent the night before and the night of her wedding alone and crying. When they told me this story, they were in the process of trying to get pregnant and have since had a kid. They got divorced very recently to absolutely no one's surprise. When the bride's work friend was having a slow dance with her at the reception and feeling her arse up in front of the groom, family, and friends, she left the groom the day they got back from their honeymoon, and she kept all the presents. The bride invited her coke dealer to the wedding. Groom didn't know him and didn't know she had such a big problem. It's a nice day for a white wedding. There was an episode of Nurse Jackie that was kind of like that. Lots of screaming over "you invited your drug dealer to my wedding?" I guess it's a good way to know you have a problem. She was clearly in love with him. He was very clearly gay. Neither seemed to want to recognize it, but everyone else was sure of it. A few years later, turns out he's gay and wants a divorce. When the bride specifically said she did not want to feed each other cake, and he aggressively came at her with cake and shoved it in her face hard enough that it was in her hair and ruined her makeup while laughing about it. It also came out later that his groomsman ate her special gluten-free lunch while setting up for the ceremony, and he didn't say anything about it. It was less than a year. When the groom shoved wedding cake into his new bride's mouth so hard that it chipped a tooth, bloodied her lip, and blood staining her wedding gown, he kept pushing until she tripped over a tree root and fell backwards, breaking her wrist. The groom's own father then began to beat the hell out of him. Good times. The groom immediately downed a full glass of vodka as soon as they did the entrance. He was staggering, stumbling, weeping the whole time, and she basically had her reception alone. This was September. By Halloween, he was gone living in another state with a woman he met 2 weeks before the wedding. They had been together for 7 years. This week would have been their 27th wedding anniversary. He did come back for his belongings a few months later and told her he got so drunk out of guilt and he was too scared to call the wedding that she paid for off. I remember it so well because it was the first wedding I ever attended and the ceremony was just beautiful, and we, her co-workers, were all in tears about how we all wanted this for ourselves. Then the reception happened and we were all like, no thanks. She was never the same after that.